In 1978, I went to the doctor and he did blood work on me. And when my blood work came back, for nurses and doctors, anybody that knows anything, my prolactin level was 1400. I didn't really know what that meant till he called my husband and I in the office to speak to us. And he said the normal is supposed to be 20. And he says what that means is you have a tumor on your pituitary gland. That's very scary. It pretty much freaked us both out. And he said what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to cut your face, and they actually go in and they cut you right underneath your lip. Did the surgery, we got all through it, and then after the surgery they tell me, oh, we didn't get it all. There's still part of a tumor there. That tumor will grow back in 15 years. Woohoo! So in about 13, 14 years, I started having the headaches and having all the same symptoms. So in 1995, I went to the doctor. They did blood work. It was 750 approximately was the prolactin level. That said that the tumor was about the size of the end of my thumb. So it was growing back, and the doctor was really wanting me to do an MRI. And I said, well, no. And we want to wait a week. And the doctor said, why? Well, I was going to tell the doctor. But at our current church, which is Trinity Assembly of God, our church before we changed the name, we were having a week of prayer and fasting. And so we did our week of prayer and fasting. And then I went back to the doctor and I said, okay, I'm ready for the MRI. And she's just looking at me like I'm nuts, but okay. So we did the MRI. While I'm laying in the MRI tube, looking, you have a mirror, I'm looking out over my toes back into the MRI room, and I noticed that all of the people back in there, the nurses and doctors, were running around, and more people were coming in, and they were pointing at the screen, and they would stop and they would say, Mrs. Fiorini, are you doing okay? And I would say, yes, I'm fine. And they said, we're going to do this again. And I would say, okay. So they did it again, and they did it many times. And more people were coming in, and more people were looking at the screen. And I was getting a little nervous, but then I realized what was happening. And so after it was all completed, I asked the tech, I said, so you didn't find anything, did you? And they said, well, your doctor will get back with you. And I said, okay. So I just left it alone. In a few more days, my doctor called and said, Alita, this is Dr. Baca, and I'm just calling to tell you that there is no macroadenoma. That is the technical term for the tumor. So what I said to her was, Dr. Baca, just tell me, are you saying there is no tumor? And she said, that's right, there is no tumor. And at that point, I just started crying, and you can imagine I was real excited because I knew that God had healed me. So then it was sometime after that, not sure exactly how long, I went back to the doctor, went to a new doctor, a new endocrinologist, and I tell her my story. She looks at me like I'm a freak of nature. And so she said, I would really like to do blood work again. So we did blood work again. And I'm just knowing it's going to come back 20, which is the normal. And when she got my results, she called me and says, well, your blood work is at 525. And I was, but it was down. It had never gone down. So she said, we need to set up surgery. You need to have surgery like now. And I said, but doctor, the MRI said there's nothing there. And she said, well, they just couldn't see it. It was hiding. So at that point, I wrote off all doctors. So last week, I went to the doctor for just a routine physical. And at the end of the appointment, he said, okay, I want to do blood work, cholesterol, all of the above. But also, can I do a prolactin level? I know how you feel, but I really want to do a prolactin level. And I said, okay. So we did a prolactin level. that was a little hard on me because that's always been hard on my, it kind of affects my faith a little, makes me a little jitterish. So yesterday, he calls me himself instead of having a nurse call me, and he said, Alita, this is your doctor. I'm calling to give you the results. Dr. Kreider. And he said, and I said, oh, hello. And he says, remember that prolactin level? And I said, yes. He says, well, I wanted to call and give you your results. And I swallow hard, get nervous, and I say, okay, I'm ready. What is it? And he said, your prolactin level is 20. And I said, so all this time that I was saying that God healed me, it is truth, right? And he goes, yes, you have no tumor. There's no ounce of it. And you're totally normal. Well, normal, but anyway, in this aspect, I'm totally normal now. So that's the end of my story. It's pretty cool.